Learn to be super successful. Subscribe to my channel, Meathead. And that's how I got introduced to the Onassis people. And I ultimately got in the Haiti deal, but this is what happens. And normally, who do they give the job to? The Young Turks. They're trying to prove their name. And I probably have 50 mentees that are considered Young Turks now. They get shit done. They get shit done. And there's a lot of different ways to skin a cat and almost everything that I've taught you is not taught in school. Maybe everything I've taught you is not taught in school. But there's a whole other virtual world out there. And the kids are now just, the mentees that are out there shaking and moving. And they come to shakers and movers. The Viking bitch is a shaker and mover. She's going to make more money outside of healthcare than she ever makes in healthcare. Magnitudes more. Because she gets shit done. And for those of you in your business careers, you know a lot of people. How many can you count? How many fingers can you count on shakers and movers that get shit done no matter what? And the real key is for you to be one of those people. The guys that have made most of the money up there haven't made money in healthcare, haven't made money in technology. They've made money because they can get shit done. They can get. Saudi government picked Klaus Kleinfeld to be CEO of NEOM, their first CEO, because Klaus, Mr. Davos, as he was called, gets shit done. Because he knows nothing about energy. He knows nothing about, flying cars and shit like that the NEOM city of the future is going to have. But he knows, not everybody, but almost everybody that's anybody. I didn't get shit done. I was the same, 20, 25 years ago.
Two questions. Your board is always part of the holding company?
Yeah, almost always, not almost always.
Okay, and then if you do have, say, eventually another line of industry, is it advisable to have two boards, or you just stick with the same board?
No, I like one board. I don't want to confuse the issue.
And bring experts on.
Yeah, and not this board. When I left Great Western, when I was thrown out of Great Western unceremoniously, set on fire with punji sticks in my eyes, I had a holding company board. I had about 21 people on it, which with luminaries. Only a few handful of the luminaries were from the oil and gas business. But I had built up, through my connections with the Marcos family of the Philippines, through my connections with the Onassis people, and then more recently with my connections with Siemens. And these are all, world-class companies. And with my connection with the Vatican Bank, even though I got fucked by them, the fact that I was, part of that group, and there's not that many people in the group that are part of that. They can say, that they can pick up the fucking phone and get to somebody. And I was. In the Vatican Bank, probably the biggest error in judgment I've had in my professional career is when I didn't go through in becoming a prince of the church, which is a big fucking deal in Catholicism, when you're a prince of the church. So you can pretend that I am and kiss my ring that I don't have, but anyway, but I don't know what I wasn't thinking. I say, what could you possibly have been thinking, Peña? Fuck, I don't know. Maybe I had early onset dementia 25 years ago, but I didn't follow up because I had an opportunity to do that. But it's a time-consuming, I'm making excuses now. It's a time-consuming process. You got to be there at Vatican City. You got to go through all this horse shit and ritual. But I fucking should have done it. Oh, absolutely. Fuck. I mean, But you can pretend tonight at graduation, the pretend ring that I don't wear, because Governor Carey was a prince of the church. And he was my conduit. And, but that's life. But I'm on that rocket ship to heaven, passing Jeff and Elon. Yeah.
So if you, basically I want to found my own company also at some point with an idea, is it better than to acquire other smaller companies? So what's the best way to get your own company off the ground, which should IPO some years later?
You let the market tell you. Right now, the IPO market is hot. SPACs are hot. And blind pools. I've never seen that. I've never seen all markets. But you let the market, right now is not, and an IPO isn't a total exit. An IPO is you're selling a portion of your company to the public. But you're still the main shareholder. And they don't like founders selling stock. But I mean, right now the market for raising capital is beyond belief. I mean, in the debt market is, I keep saying, the lowest rates in 5,000 years. 5,000 years. And there's no sign that it's going to end anytime soon. That doesn't mean it won't end. Going to war with Putin or something like that, short of something like that. But the market has discounted the terminology describing the various markets around the world right now is the markets are crawling up a wall of fear. That's the terminology they use. Nothing can dissuade the market right now. Corona didn't. Nothing. What, in my judgment, with Trump it's like Pandora's box. He opened the fucking box. He changed a bunch of the rules. And there's no limit. There's no limit. And that's terrific for us. Because, unfortunately, the little guy's not benefiting. That's not our fault. You're doing them a service by taking their wasting asset off their hands. And I mean that. That's not bullshit. You're taking their wasting, because what is a 71-year-old couple going to do with 120-bed assisted living? Their kids don't want it. For sure. Otherwise, they'd already be part of management. What are they going to do? Is it going to get any better between 71 and 75 years old? Is it going to get any better from 71 to 81? No. It's a wasting asset, because normally the couples, the older they get, the less they can take care of the business. It deteriorates. The paint falls off the fucking wall. The paint comes down from the ceiling. Light bulbs are out. And, I've walked in these places. The toilets have sunk. I've seen toilets sink through the foundation because of rotted wood. There's buckling in the tarmac of the driveway. And I can go on and on and on. They have a wasting asset that's only going to be worth less unless they sell to you or somebody like you. So for those that you want to do gooders, you are doing good. The caveat is you're doing better for yourself. You're doing good for them, but better for yourself. So what's wrong with that? Now, there are people that say there's something wrong with that, but not me. And the banks love, to the extent that you use commercial banking, they love. And if they have a mortgage or something like that, and there's cash flowing, but they're barely cash flowing, the bank's going to love. And always look to the existing lending institution that already has a stake in the deal before you look. You look at two or three other banks, but you look at the bank that's got the credit now, because they understand the business best, because they've been living with the business the last 10 or 20 years. It still takes too long with the bank, but if you're going to use a bank, try their bank first. and use their bank to leverage against new banks to bring in new money. But we have kids that are, doing these deals in 2-3 days, contrary to what you believe. Yep.
So you bought a business at a certain EBITDA. You're keeping the business has grown. Are you able to just cash out on the new EBITDA? I mean, to get some more capital?
I'm not sure I understand. You buy something at 3 times EBITDA. And,
right, but you've kept it for a year, and now your cash flow has increased.
Well, you've improved the place. You've filled it up to 100% occupancy. Right. Okay, so you've made some necessary changes to increase the profitability. Oh, you can exit at a year, but that's not where the money's made. There are venture capital firms today that will buy 25 assisted living from you that you paid 5 times EBITDA, and they will pay you 12. So it's a simple, that's one strategy. That's a simple arbitrage. It sounds trite, buy low, sell high. Everybody says that. But I mean, if you buy at 3 to 5 and you exit at 8 to 12, even you guys could make money. And it's a simple math, marketing, finance 101 arbitrage. And arbitrage just means you're buying at the differential. You're buying at the low differential, and you're selling or exiting at the high differential. But there's private equity firms all over the world that'll pay you for doing the grunt work. They don't want to go for the grunt work. So fine, call me a grunt. Pay me the difference. And they will. And they will. And there are Asian-based assisted living. There are black-based assisted living. I mean, in South Carolina, North Carolina, the Virginia area, I got a mentee, a black kid who's buying up black assisted livings. Black assisted living, because the town's 75% black. I've got kids in the San Francisco area buying up Asian-based assisted living. But then the job is kids running the motherfuckers. You've heard every single person that come up on the screen say, it's running the motherfuckers. That's the challenge. And it is. It's running them. And then you can work your way up from assisted living to then the 5-star assisted living with the country clubs, Olympic pools, blah, 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 and then hospitals. And then there's a plethora of other opportunities. And then some of the guys have started in hospitals, like Peter from Hungary. But that's unusual. That's unusual. It makes it all the more rare. That's why I cry when I see him on TV. It's all the more unusual that he was able to do it. Tough fucking market he's in. Of course, now, when you're at the top of the market, he forgets all the pain, He forgets all the pain. But I can show him some tapes that remind him, But I've never had to bring him back to earth. He's one of my more humble, super success stories. Some of the guys, the heads are bigger than mine now. I mean, some of the guys, I got to make an appointment to talk to them. Well, I got time next Thursday. Tell Mr. P, next Thursday between 3:15 and 3:20, I could probably squeeze him in for a call. Kim, hang up. We don't need to talk to him. It's fine. Yes, sir.
I think you were going to cover outcomes or go over outcomes.
No, outcome results. Thank you for reminding me. It's the new allowing people to live in their homes and work in their homes. It's called outcome management now. Siemens and Netflix are relying almost any of their employees to work from home based on outcome management. Okay, you've got a portfolio at Netflix. We want a 22% ROI in the next year. Run it. But if you don't have a 22% ROI, then you're fired. They're expecting higher ROIs from homes, and that's their way of chicken fucking you out of your job. And you'll say, well, right now we only got a 9% ROI internally, and I got to produce 22? Yes, you read it right. Well, why would you do that to me other than because you want to fire me? Thank you very much for your time. I'll talk to you later. And that's the only reason they're doing it, because they're reducing their workforce. Unemployment 3 years from now will be twice of what it is today, worldwide. Because there's going to be no more government money. All that bullshit, furlough bullshit, it'll be a thing of the past. There'll be more people to march around embassies with placards. Save the world. I want to be in the placard business. And at the end of the day, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, you're going to be the 5th horseman, and we'll be the only one standing. We'll be the only one standing. And then, 100 years from now, it's the Walking Dead. And my grandchildren and great-grandchildren will be on the turrets of the castle. Boom, 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 shooting them down like fucking dogs. The Walking fucking Dead. Kids, it's been great. I can't believe that I'm not going to be answering questions the day after tomorrow and sleeping in. I'll be preparing for the hardcore. And by the way, I did not misspeak. There is going to be a hardcore in June. Somebody called in the castle about that. There is a hardcore in June. I'm not talking about the hardcore that starts in 2 weeks. I'm talking about a different hardcore. You got to start now. You heard Thomas. It doesn't have to be that way, where most of you won't succeed at the level that he expects. But you're all going back to markets that are ripe. And you can get a board together, professionals together, and a deal before the year ends. You can. You absolutely can. But you got to hump. You got to hump. And then when you learn how to hump, and when you learn that you can do a deal in 20, 25 days, or 20 days, you'll never be the same. And your expectations of others will never be the same. Because you can. Okay, kids, thank you very much. Bye-bye.